Hello, I wanted to come on. It's been a minute, um, but I was reminded the other day, and I didn't press record when I thought about it, but I had taken down some notes. I remember around, I would say maybe about 12, maybe 13 years ago. I was working with some youth, and I'll never forget this young man. The organization that we worked for, we all sat down. If I was invited over to one of the houses, or if I had business at one of the houses, I'll never forget. We always used to say prayer, and we ask, if go around the table, and if somebody wanted to volunteer or do something like that, they were more than welcome to do so. The bottom line is, I'll never forget one of the young men had pulled me to the side and said, Miss Katrina, don't laugh at me. And I said, well, why would I laugh at you? And he said, I don't know how to pray. And whenever we sit down at the table, I'm scared to sit because I know if one time I'm going to be called on and I don't know what to say. And he had asked me to teach him how to pray. And I said, of course I would, And I said, have you ever heard of meditation? And he said, I've heard of meditation. That's when you just sit quietly and just think about stuff, right? And I said, yeah, that's somewhat what it is. And I said, well, prayer is almost similar and can be similar. And I said, what it is that you are grateful for. I said, I remember when I brought you into the program and you had told me a lot of things that you were thankful for. And I said, if you put your thank yous and ask God, um, uh, what it is, and thank God for whatever is going on in your life. And I remember you saying to me that, thank you, Miss Katrina, for allowing me to be in your program. And you wrote this beautiful letter. And I said, that's almost like a prayer, but you're not praying to me. You're praying to the Most High God. And I said, is it any time that you feel different within your body when something is happening and you're most grateful? He said, I just feel joy. And, and I'm summing up somewhat what he said. He said, some of his exact words. And I said, well, let's put it together. I said, when you pray, I said, and he noticed that my hands were open and he had put his hands together and he had like almost closed, closed fists. You know, how some people pray and they clutch their fingers. And he said, am I doing it right? I said, you're doing it the way you need to do it. He said, so why are your hands open? And I said, well, my hands are open because I was taught that in order to receive, you want to receive it. And so if your hands are open, you're open to receive. He said, well, I never was taught that. I never knew that. I always seen my grandparents or my mom do this, but they never taught us how to pray. And I said, well, that's okay. You saw them. And I said, that's what it is. And you just ask God, you know, and you ask God what's going, I talk to God. I talk to God as if I'm talking to you. And when I start off my prayer, I said, thank you, God, for everything that you've given to me today and yesterday. And whatever my future may hold, I thank you in advance. And so, with that being said, I just wanted, and I was just talking to him, and I had taught him a simple prayer. And the simple prayer was, thank you, God, for the food that we're about to receive in our body and for the nourishment of our body. And please and thank you for the cook that prepared the food. I said, it's just a simple prayer. You make it however you want it and make it. And so, and in all of his asking and wanting to know how to pray, I said, it's simple. Sometimes when you don't have the words to pray, you just say, thank you, God. I appreciate everything you've done for me and my family and my friends. And I told him that anytime that I pray, I include the community and I also include the world. I include all of people who I believe are suffering in whatever way possible. That although I cannot heal them, but through my prayers, I'm asking God to heal them. So that was that one moment lesson that I had given him, and he was most grateful for that. And I never forget, he wrote me a letter of thank you. And he said that he prayed for me that night. And as I can remember, as long as it was in the years that has compounded, I never forget that during that time when that young man said to me, and he was about 13 years old. When he said that to me, I was going through a moment in my life, and I just asked God to just, send me a sign. And I believe through that young man asking me to teach him how to pray, and when he came back and he saw me, I believe it was the next day, he had saw me and he said, Miss Katrina, I prayed for you last night. I hope everything works out, whatever you going through. And I mean, I tell you the honest God truth, that brought a tear to my eye. He said, Miss Katrina, are you crying? I said, you just brought a tear to my eye. I said, you don't know how you just blessed me. He said, I blessed you. I blessed you, Miss Katrina. And I said, yes, young man. I said, you blessed me. And I said, I thank God for you. And I said, you taught me something. I said, but remember, no matter how old you are, you can always learn from somebody else younger than you, no matter how old you get. And I told him, he said, really, Miss Katrina? And they just brought a smile. But I just want to remind people on today and just talking about prayer and meditation. And I get such joy out of my prayer and meditation, no matter how things are in my life at the moment. When I finish, I find that things are refreshed. When I go into prayer, I'm heavy, but when I leave out of it or in meditation, I feel a lot lighter. And I just say, always give thanks no matter where you are in this world, no matter what you're going through, how on top you are, that you feel that you are, or no matter how low you are. Find solace. Find solace in every little thing. No matter how the sun is shining, if the sun is not shining and it's raining, find solace and thank God for all of what you are experiencing in that moment. And I tell you, no matter what, the misery that you may be experiencing in that second or in during that day, I tell you, it takes it away. It's something about peace. It's something about peace when you call on the Most High God. And no matter what you're going through, it works. I don't care whoever is listening to the sound of my body, I mean my voice, and who will listen to it. I pray for you and I ask God to cover you and to be with you on your daily walk, to continue to be with you. No matter how down you are or how up you are, you always thank the Most High God for every single thing in your life. And even the miracles, just like a friend taught me years ago, Katrina, that was a miracle. We always think about the miracles seen and unseen. And I told my dear friend, I never heard it like that before. And she told me her experience. And she said, I thank God every single day for the miracles seen and unseen. And with that being said, I say to you right now, at the sound of my voice, I thank God for you. I thank God for your family and friends. And I pray for this world. I pray for the hell in the world that good overtakes evil. That is my prayer. And with that being said, peace and blessings to you. May God be with you always. And don't forget to smile and make somebody else day perfect. With that being said, peace and blessings. Bye bye.